this time I'd like to make a video about the Hollow Earth basics. As you can see in the picture, the people that promote the Hollow Earth theory, or that believe that the Earth might be hollow, state practically that all planets and also in the solar system and beyond our solar system and even the stars are holloids. First we will check out a small introduction by Hollow Earth Planet Basics from the bibliotecapleiades.net website, and we will check out the theory behind it and how it logically builds up. Well, there is a website from bibliotecapleiades.net. I'll put the link below, and it gives practically the Hollow Earth Planet Basics. Part 1, Hollow Planet Basics. Chapter 1, Hollow Planet History. Sir Edmund Halley, 1656-1742, Halley's Comet. Halley's most controversial theory originated from a study of magnetism. Halley realized that the magnetic poles were constantly moving. He believed this could be explained by having two fixed magnetic poles, north and south, in the crust of a hollow Earth, and two more inside, which were moving. He envisaged hollow spheres, one inside the other, rotating at slightly different speeds. One of these inner shells would contain the other set of magnetic poles. If that shell rotated slightly slower than the outermost shell, then that might account for the apparent motion of the two of these magnetic poles when the other two stood still. Halley speculated on whether there might be life inside these shells. Since God had created animated beings which inhabited every part of the Earth as we know it, why should he not therefore have also caused the interior of these shells to be habited? He suggested that the atmosphere might be luminous, or that the inner sides of the spheres might emit light, or there might even be small suns inside the Earth, which he referred to as peculiar luminaries below, of which he had no sort of idea. Many of the core features of the Hollow Earth theory were born out of Halley's speculations. Could there be any logical reason for thinking that a planet might be hollow? The only possibility which comes to mind is that a spinning sphere might become hollow naturally. This was originally suggested to me by John Flora, who joined my internet list. His argument is as follows. Scientists believe stars and planets formed from huge clouds of dust in space. Gravity caused them to condense. Then they started spinning and eventually became spheres. If this were the case, like an ice skater, these stars and planets would have spun even faster as they contracted. Well, the more you contract, the higher the velocity it becomes. This will be dictated by the law of conservation of angular momentum. However, the solar system tells a different story. It is not the smallest planets which spin the fastest, but the largest ones. The Earth rotates at 24 hours, and many of the planets smaller than it rotates even slower. Jupiter, the largest planet, which was at a diameter more than 10 times that of the Earth, spins about its axis in a mere 10 hours. This is not what one would expect from condensed solid planets. John pointed out that this is also true of all the different types of stars. The larger ones spin faster than the smaller ones. He believes that it can be shown mathematically that a high rate of rotation would cause a spherical body to expand until it reaches a point of maximal inertial stability. In an email dated 15th of February 1988, he explained in part, as I said earlier, the maximum moment of inertia for a rotating sphere to spin stably is that of a hollow sphere. He suggested that the planets and stars be regarded as tornadoes in space, he explained. This smaller size, slow rotation, bigger size, faster rotation relationship of planets and stars' rotation is exactly what you would think if the planets and stars were created hollow. However, because according to spherical shell dynamic theory, the planets and stars were created out of a convection turrets between warm and cool regions of space, swirling the particles into twirling tornadoes of particles. In the zero gravity of space, these tornadoes took on the shape of spheres with open holes, and the faster they were rotating, the larger they became. John's logic also suggests that hollow planets must have polar holes of some kind. He pointed out that there was a point on which the centrifugal force and gravity balance. Gravity, as we shall see later, is zero at the center of the Earth, or any hollow sphere. All mathematical exercises show that if one could suspend an object at the center of the Earth, then it would be weightless. So when forming a planet rotates, the matter at its core would be flung away from the center. However, gravity, however, increases as one moves away from the center of the planet because there's also more matter below it. So a point is reached whereupon gravity is stronger than the centrifugal force and the expansion then stops. One thus ends up with a hollow spinning sphere. So the logic behind this is that normally, if the planet is smaller, it's small condensed, and the larger the planet or the smaller the planets, the larger the planets, the slower the rotation. You would assume it because it has more mass that it would take more time to rotate this much mass if it's a full Earth planet. But the logic behind it again is really simple. If matter starts turning because of an external force, and this matter starts being pulled away from the center of the Earth because of this rotation, then it will practically stop pulling away from the Earth when it has practically reached in harmony or reached in balance with gravity. So the matter goes around an energy force that turns. That is the planet energy force, or the tornado, the three-dimensional tornado that actually makes this turning motion of the planet. At the center of the Earth there is no gravity, it's a gravity null point. So the matter actually is pushed outwards, and then with the gravity pushing inwards and the centrifugal force pushing outward, you get a balanced holoid or hollow sphere. That is practically the thinking behind hollow planets and hollow moons and hollow stars and hollow suns. There's a really good book that you can read. It's A Journey to the Earth's Interior by Marshall B. Gardner. You can also get it on the Sacred Text Archive. I'll put the link below. If you read the book, it gives you all the information necessary to start believing that the Earth might be hollow because of the evidence that is there. It's a book written in 1920, a really eye-opening book, I believe. I also bought it. Couldn't find it, or I would show you people. I'll put the picture right next to this screen here. It's a really good book portraying practically also this theory that the Earth might be hollow. And since there is practically evidence suggesting that Richard Evelyn Byrd went to the inner pole in 1947 with his own aircraft and actually met the Imperial Germans who had a colony there in Swabia. Well, I printed practically the documents. These are practically maps of the Imperial Germans, of the Third Reich, secret maps of the inner Earth, of the holoid inner Earth. From the eventchronicle.com. And here we have the picture of the hollow Earth. These official Nazi maps and documents confirm the existence of Agharta, an entire world inside our planet. One of the most interesting questions many people have asked for centuries is whether there is a possibility that our planet might be hollow. And here are the maps. Well, that is from the map that portrays both hemispheres of the inner world, with here practically U-boat Stützpunkt der Kriegsmarine, a U-boat base of the Navy, of the Imperial German Navy. That is New Swabia, Neuschwabenland of New Berlin. That is the Valkyrian Ocean. That is the entrance to the inner Earth. And that is the other hemisphere with its continent, Liberia. Asgard, city of the asses, and Shambhala. Shambhala, the city of the gods. Well, that is the original document. Up here is the beginning of the Valkyrische Ozean, and that is the seal, and also the warning that if this would ever become public, that this has to be destroyed as quickly as possible. Bestätigt durch das Kommando der U-Boot-Flotte der Kriegsmarine des Deutschen Reichs. And that is a real seal. Well, it really looks authentic. And it even gives a detailed account, Karte für das Passieren der Meeresenge, on how to get practically to the inner Earth via the ocean. Well, that is the high-resolution version of the map. As you can see, you can see it better. Asgard, Stadt der Asen, Pyrenäisches Meer, Valkyrischer Ozean. Amadak Archipel, Balkarischer Ozean. And here is an U-Boot-Stützpunkt der Kriegsmarine, or a U-boat base of the Imperial German Navy. Here is New Swabia, the colony of New Swabia, with its capital city, New Berlin. And yeah, that is the other hemisphere with Liberia. The continent's called Liberia. Again, the Valkyrian Ocean, the Valkarischer Ozean. And Shambhala, city of the gods, and Asgard, Stadt der göttlichen Ordnung, or the göttlichen Lichts, or something like that. And that they have practically a colony there. So we have practically maps already from that era. We have a witness that actually went to the inner earth, according to the Admiral Richard Evelyn Byrds's diaries, that he actually met the Imperial Germans inside the Hollow Earth in New Swabia. Well, here in New Swabia, New Berlin. Back then, in 1947, the polar orbiting satellites at the very beginning that NASA sent up, and even the Russians sent up, these polar orbiting satellites that had a polar orbit, a real polar orbit, all vanished. This means they crashed, because practically they're openings at the inner Earth, and they all converge to a point that, to the inner Earth entrance, and in that they all convert. That's, if you look at the polar orbiting satellites pictures online, if I find it, I'll put it right next to here. You can see practically that they all converge practically on a point that is the entrance to the inner Earth. Yeah? I believe that the Earth is hollow according to the evidence that is there. One day I will see it with my own eyes in the New Golden Age, when we all are allowed to travel inside the inner Earth as tourists to meet up the other kingdoms that live down there, and even our relatives, our German relatives, that have been living inside the Earth now since 70 years. And it's really incredible. I'm looking forward to it. Hollow Earth basics, it's a thinking game again, that you have to think on your own how a planet might evolve, independent of what the experts might tell you. And yeah, I just wanted to make a video about Hollow Earth basics. Actually, I made several videos on the topic already a long time ago. We have evidence that the Imperial Germans believed that the Earth is hollow. We have map evidence of that time, telling us that they already mapped the inner Earth. Yeah, I believe the Imperial Germans are righteous people who seek the truth, who are in the interest of the people and not against the people, who work in the interest of the people. They always put the interest of the folk above their own personal interests or personal gains. That is what the Imperial Germans actually do. They do. It was practically white rulership, not Zionist Jewish rulership. And one day when the Germans, or the white people of this world, the Aryan people of this world, are freed from mental slavery and financial slavery, we will be able to lead our lives as we choose to, and not be just a wheel of the system, a clog in the system, and working your ass off from 9 to 5, or 50 hours a week or more, I don't know. We will be independent of the system, and we will put practically the economy at the feet of the people. Yeah, it will be serving us to make our lives better, more healthier, and with more happiness. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!